Good morning, everyone. This is Carmen Hernandez at the National Weather Service in Atlanta, and I will be giving you your weekly weather briefing for North and Central Georgia today. Looking at the week ahead, we're looking at temperatures that are going to stay above normal today into the weekend, and then going into Friday into Saturday, we're looking at having a high pressure wedge setting up from the northeast into Georgia, which will ultimately cause us to have cloudy skies and rain chances that will stick around through the weekend. Going through Monday into Tuesday, Monday we'll start to have a little break from this with some dry air moving in, but another wedge will start to set up into Tuesday before being pushed to the side by the cold front that approaches the area late next week into Thursday. So taking a look at our current satellite imagery, as you can see, I have pointed there where the fog is slowly starting to erode away as that wedge starts to erode away that we've been experiencing these past few days, wherever we've been having the fog and just the cloudy skies and slightly cooler temperatures, especially in North Georgia. North of that into the Tennessee, upper Alabama area, you can see where a front is draped over this area, a stationary front that has been causing rain chances and just overall cloudy skies throughout the past week or so. So looking at our current conditions right here, as I talked about with the satellite imagery, we have a front draped over the Tennessee Valley into North Georgia and South Carolina, which this is really just going to be the focus for our showers this afternoon that you'll see in a couple of slides. And besides this, on this map, we see high pressure along the Gulf Coast, which is why we have clear skies in the southern portions of Georgia and everywhere not around that front, such a sharp cutoff that we saw on the satellite imagery. And you can also see on this that the high pressure / the wedge is eroding back into northeast Georgia. As we were talking about that front, current temps right now are in the mid-60s across much of Georgia, and then high temps are going to be expected to be in the mid-70s, except in North Georgia, where I have outlined where that front is, where temperatures will be more in the mid-60s throughout the rest of the day. Going into the rain chances for today and tonight, as you can see, the rain chances are centered around where that front was that we saw on the surface map earlier. Again, just there's such a sharp cutoff due to that high pressure that we're seeing in the south as well. So we're going to now go through the general surface weather pattern through the week ahead, starting off with Friday. Again, just kind of seeing that slight rain chances in the north and the northeastern portions of our region, as we have that wedge will start to set up. As you can see, high pressure starting to dip down into the Carolinas, but not fully setting up until Saturday. So with these rain chances, again, just kind of centered over North Georgia and northeast Georgia into Friday night, but with Friday they start to dip down closer to LaGrange and that area. Looking at Saturday, keeping going along with the timeline, we really see that high pressure start to dig into northeast Georgia, as you can see with the arrows, and WPC has actually outlined a wedge front there. As you see, it looks like a cold front, but it's the cold air damming wedge front that they have picked here. And with this wedging, we're going to see another day, another weekend, kind of like what we had earlier this week, with increased cloud cover due to the high pressure building in and increased rain chances along North Georgia. Going into Saturday's rain chances, as you can see, the beginning of Saturday, or most of Saturday, we don't really see much except in northwest Georgia because there is some dry air there before the wedge front really sets in, which you'll see on Saturday night with those increased chances into central Georgia by that point. Looking ahead to Sunday, we still have the cold air damming / wedge right there into South Carolina, as you can see with the high pressure, but it is starting to erode away. And with that, we will see the rain chances more centered around central Georgia than we were in northern Georgia like recently, as that system kind of erodes out of our area. We see this with the rain chances, with Sunday having around 20% over most of central Georgia Sunday, and then Sunday night we start to get a break from all this kind of yucky weather as we have high pressure building in from the north that will cause us to have dry conditions, as we'll see in the next slide. Looking at Monday, we see the high pressure building in from the north, which will allow us to have less rain chances and giving us honestly a break from this kind of gross weather we've been dealing with, and will also help with some of the temperatures as we go on. By looking at Monday's rain chances, it's really near zero, basically zero for the entire area Monday and Monday night with that high pressure building in. But this is our only day of reprieve, sadly, as we look at Tuesday and we have that wedge building in yet again, sadly. And with this, it's a pretty strong wedge building into southern Georgia really, which is again going to cause increased cloud cover, but also some lower temps with that. As you can see with the rain chances, starting off Tuesday morning, we see them in northwest Georgia, and then as the day goes on into Tuesday night, we'll start to see them expand into central Georgia really. And on Wednesday is when we will still have some of that wedge influence us, but we have this cold front extending through the Arklatex and into South Texas that is starting to push through the area and will start to approach our area from the west. Ahead of this front, we're going to be expecting rain chances to start increasing along with this. So Wednesday, as you can see, our rain chances are reflective of that, with rain chances pretty high across much of the area on Wednesday and into Wednesday night. And then finally, going into next Thursday, we have that frontal system has almost moved into our area at this point, as you can see. And at this point, it is a little far out to talk about thunderstorm chances, but it's definitely going to lead to an increase in rain chances. But definitely stay tuned to see how, like through our social medias, to see how that severe could evolve as the week goes on, but still a little too soon to talk about that. So that is it going through our general surface weather patterns. So to go into our temperature forecast for our 4 climate sites. Starting off with Atlanta, we start off with temperatures well above normal, as you can see by this chart, into the weekend, where they start to kind of gradually decline in temps through the next week. As you can see on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, our high temps and low temps are pretty close together at this point, which that is because of the wedge's effect in not allowing temperatures to get that high and not allowing low temperatures to get that low, so they kind of just stay around the same. There's around the same temperature throughout the day with the moisture. Going into Columbus, again, we're going to have above normal temperatures into the weekend with a gradual decline in temps through the next week. Columbus isn't really going to feel the effect of the wedge, so that is why we are seeing a little bit more spread in the temperatures. Going into Macon, the same kind of thing that we saw at Atlanta and Columbus, well above normal temperatures into the weekend, but we see a gradual decline in temps through the next week. And again, the wedge isn't really going to affect Macon as much as some of the other areas. Now going to Athens, I saved this one for last just to really show you the wedge. Again, starting out above normal, but by Friday you see our high temperature is 60 with our low being 58. The wedge is going to be in full effect here in Athens, wherever it's only going to be a 2-degree temperature change, showing really how much moisture there is in that area. And then we'll see that again Saturday, Sunday, and then Wednesday. So now going in our expected rainfall. So this is our days 1 through 7 QPF expected. So originally like the 1 to 5 day is not as much as it shows here. This is more due as that front comes through into the area. We will start to see more and more rainfall from that front, with values up to around 3 inches in northwest Georgia, with around 2 inches in the Atlanta area, and going down to around and decreasing through the southeast down to 1/4 of an inch as that front goes through. So, speaking of rainfall, we have the drought summary from last week. We showed that we had multiple areas in D2 severe drought, but this week, due to the rainfall we had earlier this week on Monday and Tuesday, they allowed some of our areas to go down to D1 as in moderate drought this week. So that is definitely an improvement, and we will see how this improves through this next week as we get that more and more rainfall that we're expecting. So hopefully that will go down even more next week. So just in summary, again, expecting temperatures above normal today into this weekend. And then starting Friday into Saturday, we're seeing that high pressure wedge start to set up, which will cause us cloudy skies and rain chances that are going to stick around through the weekend. Then following this, we're going to have a little break on Monday, where then next we'll have another wedge setting up Tuesday, again causing cloudy skies and increased rain chances. And then Wednesday into Thursday, the cold front will approach the area, which will cause our rain chances to increase and give us those higher values of QPF that we were seeing on the QPF slide. So that is all for our briefing this week. Thank you for listening in, and here is our ways of connecting with us through phone, decision support page, through our website, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'll just keep that up for a second so you can look at it. And that will conclude our briefing for today. Hope y'all have a great week.